Hey y'all, it's Mrs. Walden. So I'm going to be showing you how to do your dragon eye. Let's see. First off, we're going to start off with drawing kind of like a lemon shape. You can also refer to it as a squashed lemon. First, you're going to start off with your heel like this and your dip as so. And you can make this however wide or however curved you want it to be. You want a decent shape. At the end here, I'm going to adjust as needed. I don't want it to be that long, but I also need to add right there so it looks like the tear duct area, and same right here. Then I'm going to be adding my iris. That is the color part of your eye. So you want to draw a circle, but you don't want the whole circle to be in the center, okay? You want it to be kind of off, and that's because your whole iris does not show. You have an eyelid, and that covers part of it to protect your eye. So I'm going to start off with maybe like this. It's not a perfect circle. And I'm drawing lightly, and I keep going because I want to try and get it to the shape I want it to be. That way I can just erase what I don't like. So like, I don't like this inner line, and I can get rid of it. And then that's about it for that. Okay, and then I'm going to add my pupil. That is the dark black area of your eye, and that's what takes in light. And our cool brain takes in the light, and that's what creates the image that we see. So you can make the pupil anyway. It could be a circle like ours, or it could be something crazy. It's a mythical creature. So I'm going to go with something like a star shape, kind of. Not really. It just has points like a star. I'm going to connect. Do that here and here. And oh, remember, this is why we draw lightly. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to leave this area white because I want that to represent my glare. You always want to add a glare to your iris just because you don't want it to look flat, and that kind of gives the 3D look of something shiny. And the glare also helps you look alive. As crazy as that seems, it helps the eye look alive because it makes the illusion that it's wet. And when things are dead, they don't really have that because the eye is no longer moist. There's no moisture on it. Let's see. There we go. And voila. Okay. And then I'm going to come in and erase this area because, well, that's behind the eyelid and we can't see that. Remember, we've talked about how if something is behind another thing, you don't actually draw it. Like if my ring right here is here, but my hand is over it, you wouldn't draw this ring because you can't see it. Fix this because part of the pupil is poking out. Okay, and now I'm going to add the part of your eyelid that where our eyelashes come out of. So it's a parallel line, and you decide how thin or thick it is, like away from this line. And I'm not going to extend it all the way down. That's good enough. And then I'm going to do the same on the bottom. Here we go. And voila. Okay. And let me get some of this stuff off. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to add the indentation of where our eyelid sits. So it's kind of like that crease on the top part. So about right here. So this tells me my dragon has a crease. Erase what I don't need. And remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video and go at your own pace. And you can add another one right here. That kind of gives the illusion of like a dark circle under your eye. I'm not going to add that, but you can if you would like to. Okay, now it's time for the scales. So the scales can be any shape. It's your imagination. You work with what you got. There is an example in the slideshow lesson for the week folder. It is labeled as Dragon Eye Examples. You can use those examples. Don't directly copy, because remember, that's plagiarism. We want to create our own dragon. So change some things up, okay? I'm going to show you different ones, though. This way you have an idea of how they're made and not just see them, but see the process. Okay, so I'm going to add the scallop scales, which are also known as mermaid scales. I like these. And when you want to do a second row, you're going to always go over the gaps. And then if you want to get bigger, instead of one gap, you'll do two gaps. So from this hill, there's one gap, two gap, land. One gap, two gap, land. One gap, two gap, land. And so on. Okay? And see, and then I can get bigger and bigger. If you want to do more like a skin-like texture, snake-like texture, you can. This is where your cross-hatching actually comes into play. And you can make multiples actually. And then I'm going to come in and go the opposite direction. There we go. And that kind of gives snake-like texture, you know, the bottom of the snake's belly. And then we can do the same this one, but a different shape. So I'm going to come in and make these more rectangular shapes, but doing the same process, join them together like this. Okay, and then you can also do bumps. Like maybe they have really tough skin and it's real bumpy like. I like these. These are nice. You can also do circles. Maybe they just have rough skin that gives the illusion of bumps. This is where I use different circles of different sizes. Okay. And then there's also horns. You can add horns. So like maybe I want to give my dragon an eyelash. Maybe it has steel eyelashes that help protect it when it's attacked. So let me see. I'm going to add this way. And then I'm going to curve, and I'm going to curve the bottom to give that illusion that it's sticking out. Clean up the inside. Curve, I'm going to go a little bit bigger. Curve the bottom. Clean up the inside. And then same with the last one. A little bit bigger. And clean up the inside. There you go. So it looks kind of like it has some spikes for eyelashes. And your goal is going to be to complete it all the way to the edge of the paper. So I want scales all the way around. And then when you're done with this, go back in and darken up your lines, either with a marker or a black color pencil. Black color pencil would be best. And you're going to use watercolors to paint your picture. And I want you to be able to show me from dark to light or from light to dark. So let's say I start off with baby blue here And then towards the end of my scales, I get to a very dark blue. Show me that you can use your value that you learned in our vocabulary words. And if you ever need help with that, remember you can always jump on the Google Meets with me at 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, except for Wednesdays when we have early release, and that's at 1:10. If you also have any questions, feel free to email me or maybe Google things. Google Dragon Eyes. That can always help. So have fun on your project. Remember, take your time, and I'll see you next time.